First, let me pay tribute to Margaret and John Williamson, Dave Meadows, Joyce Barrett. They're the founders of this Tea Party. They're great American citizens. In fact, I have the Joe McCutcheon political report on WDUN radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and people were talking about the education of the Tea Party people. I called in, I said, well, let me tell you about Tea Party in LJ. We've got Dr. John Williamson, who has a doctorate in physics, and his wife, Margaret, has her master's in nuclear medicine. So anybody that thinks the Tea Party people aren't smart, they just don't understand it, do they? There's a lot of very dedicated people that love this great country, and I am totally optimistic today. I've had the honor of being the #1 caller to talk shows for the last 20 years in America. I've been on Larry King, I've been on C-SPAN, I've been on a lot of shows, and what I'm really excited about now, all over America, when I call into these shows, I get people calling me and saying, Joe, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to do what's necessary. What we have in Washington now is the worst thing in my lifetime. I mean, the worst situation. These people may mean well, but what they've done is they've just about bankrupted our country. Every American owes about $200,000 when you look at the unfunded liabilities of Medicare, Social Security, and that is just tragic. But the good news is, a few months ago, Colonel Oscar Poole, who's also been a small business champion, standing right over there across the way in his famous yellow suit, he's a great American and he loves this country. Oscar Poole, he's going to talk to you in a little bit, but anyway, a few months ago, we decided to form the McCutcheon-Poole Small Business Coalition. There are 27 million. I'm going to tell you how we're going to win the election. There are 27 million small businesses in America. You take the man and the wife, that's 54 million votes. You take the 15 or 20 million Tea Party people, that's 70 million, 65 to 70 million votes. President Obama won with 65 million. So that coalition, plus you take the constitutionalists and the libertarians, we all have this in common. We want to cut government, we want to cut taxes. So any candidates that put together this coalition, now I went up to Virginia and I campaigned for Bob McDonnell for governor. And he won, of course. And in talking to the people there, they told me, they said, look, it's the Tea Party people plus the small business owners that elected Bob McDonnell governor of Virginia. The same thing in New Jersey with Governor Christie. He was elected with the help of the Tea Party people and the 27 million small business owners. Then in Massachusetts, which used to be Massachusetts before Scott Brown, I know a good guy that helped run the campaign. One of the Mitt Romney supporters, a guy named Ryan Williams, was instrumental in running his campaign. And Ryan called me 2 days before the election. He said, Joe, we're going to win this thing. I said, Ryan, how are we going to do it? He said, Joe, you won't believe all these Tea Party people that have come to Massachusetts. They're giving us money, they're volunteering, and of course, one of the greatest political upsets in my lifetime was when Scott Brown. Wasn't that a great thing to have the Kennedy seat, Scott Brown? And so anyway, that's how we're going to win. Now I know we've got a lot of good candidates here. My man is Tom Grace for Congress, and he's putting together this coalition. I'm sure the other 9th District candidates are doing the same thing. So for governor, I know Karen Handel, who's my candidate, is trying to put together that same coalition, and I'm sure the other candidates for governor are doing the same thing. That is what is so important. But now here's another thing I think we need to do. I've been a small businessman all my life, and I was named the small businessman in the state of Georgia in 1975, and so I've had 35 years of experience talking to small business people like myself. What we want and what we need to get the economy going is we need to cut capital gains to zero. What do you think about that? Cut the capital gains. We've got to give people an incentives. Our president in Washington, he wants to raise the capital gains tax. That is totally unbelievably wrong. We need to give people an incentives to invest their hard-earned money. And so I'm saying here that I think we're going to win. I predicted this. I have a radio show and a television show. I predicted on both my shows that we're going to take over the Congress. The conservatives are going to win and kick out the liberals in November. I think we'll win 50 to 60 seats. And then in the Senate, I think we need 10 seats. I think we'll get them. I've never seen the American people more fired up about less government, less taxes. And then in 2012, I think with the help of the Tea Party, which I think is amazing because a year ago today, there was no Tea Party. Now today there are millions of people like y'all that are fired up, you're energized, you're passionate, and I'll tell you what, I think after 100 years after I'm dead and gone, the coalition of the 27 million small businesses and the millions of Tea Party people, that will be a coalition that will elect conservatives for many, I'd say the next 100 years, because this is a powerful coalition, and it's just an honor to be here today to talk to you wonderful people. And let me encourage you, these November elections are the most important elections of our lifetime. Do you agree with that? We must defeat these liberals in the House and Senate and turn them out. It's our government. We need to do something about this debt. We need to balance the budget. We need to cut taxes. We must make some major spending cuts. What the president wants to do is just increase taxes and spending. That is totally, what he's doing is totally, and the Democrats are totally opposite of what we need in America. Now, there are some conservative Democrats and the Republicans and the Tea Party people and the Libertarians and the Constitutionalists. That coalition will control American politics, in my opinion, for the next 100 years, and it will win for the conservatives like you all out there. And I just want to say it's what a great honor it is to be here. Please hang in there, call talk shows, send letters to the editor, and let's all get fired up and elect hard-working conservatives, not only now, but for the next 100 years, and so that we can preserve the future for our children and grandchildren, because they're left with this $12 trillion debt. So thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here. Y'all have a great day, and let's do it for the taxpayers of America. Thank you very much.